So you've decided to become a content creator. So here's everything that you need to know and decide on before becoming a content creator. You're going to want to grab a pen and a notepad because we've got a lot to cover. Don't forget, I have several different platforms that I'm on covering so many different topics: business, culture, lifestyle, fashion, even beauty. So head over to anyone that you want to check out. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Let's get started. Find your niche. Or don't. You've probably heard everyone talking about niching down on whatever it is that you're interested in when it comes to creating content. You want to take a deep dive into your passion and whatever it is that you're interested in when it comes to creating content about. Is it just one thing, or are there several different things that you'd like to cover? Now, there's been a lot of speculation and talk about niching, or should you niche or should you not niche? And honestly, I feel like it really does depend on what it is that you want to talk about. I just wouldn't put the pressure on yourself of having to have a niche. If there's one thing that you are passionate about and you know that that's the main thing you want to cover, then yeah, sure, niche down on it. But don't feel restricted if later on, when your audience starts building up, you decide to cover different topics because maybe that's just the direction that you've ended up going down. And trust me, that happens a lot. So don't be afraid of branching out into other topics if you have decided to niche down. But if you don't initially, that's not a problem either. You can pick whatever topics they are that you are interested in and cover all of them. There's always a way to tie it all in together so that it doesn't seem so random. Nonetheless, it is important to figure out what it is you're going to be speaking about, whether it's one topic or whether it's several. So really figure out what it is that you want to deliver. What's the message that you want to deliver through your videos? What are you trying to actually do? What benefit are these videos going to be to anyone watching it? Why are they going to stick around to even watch your videos? What are they learning from it? There's got to be something that they are absorbing from your videos. They have to walk away feeling like they've actually learned something and they've bettered either their life or their skill or their knowledge from watching your video. Whatever topic it is that you've decided on, whether it's one topic or whether it's several different things that you're covering, either way, that overall topic is going to be your guiding compass. It's going to help to figure out what way you need to go down, almost help you to stick to the topic or stick to whatever topics you've chosen. You still need to know roughly what it is that you're covering. You don't want to just go in and not have any idea and just talk about all random stuff, because whoever's watching your videos needs to understand what it is that your overall subject is about. Like, what umbrella do you fall under? Are you covering so many different topics within business and finance? Are you covering so many different topics when it comes to social media? Are you covering how to generally be productive? Like on my channel, I cover business, mindset, productivity, and social media, like how to actually get started on your entrepreneurial journey, whether that be in social media, whether that be in makeup, whether it be in something completely different. Either way, all of these things that I've mentioned are relevant to any kind of job, whatever that topic may be. Either way, you need to start with something. And along the way on your journey, you're going to end up tweaking it. And sometimes you don't even realize how you've ended up down another path without even realizing, because your audience have kind of directed you and guided you that way. Choose your platform. So what are you going to go for? Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, anything else that takes your fancy? You need to figure out what your platform is. There are so many to choose from. So you really want to figure out what feels best for you. Which platform feels like home to you? For me, it was YouTube. And even though I was actually on Instagram way before YouTube, it's only on YouTube that I realized that I really felt like this is my place. And I don't know what it is. It has maybe a lot to do with the community as well, because it's such a different community to Instagram. I love Instagram. It's quick, it's easy, it's very kind of like just scrolling, you know, but I feel like on YouTube I'm really educating people and I really have that connection with the audience and the community. We've built a really nice community over here and on my other YouTube channel, and I love it because I feel like I can talk back to them. They're actually sticking around. It's not just quick information they want to stick around and actually learn things. At the same time, if you're looking to monetize your content, it's really important to research into each platform. So which one works best for you? Like which revenue sharing scheme on these platforms works out better for you? Like, what do you prefer? I would say YouTube is probably the best one. It really does look after the content creators, and ultimately that's what the whole platform relies on, is the kind of content that we produce and making sure that it is engaging and they're long form videos. You know, that's what people really want to stick around and watch. As well as that, obviously there are brand deals, so you can get that on the side, but that really depends on how much effort you're putting in, how much time are you putting in, how are you connecting with these brands too. Don't forget that you could link different platforms together. So for example, I use Instagram to share my daily life, but also I do use it to interlink different kind of platforms that I'm on. So when a new YouTube video comes out, I make sure that I actually post it on my Instagram so that people over there, whoever is interested in long form content, they can head over to YouTube and check that out as well. So you really want to look at how you can link them all together so that you are making the most of all platforms and really kind of pushing your audience around to see where they like to stop off and stick around. It's also fine to like experiment, like figure out what it is you want to go on. Like maybe you don't like one platform after a little while, move over to another one that you feel, you know, works out a bit better for you. Find where your comfort zone is and don't be afraid to kind of branch out and move on to different platforms. Get your kit ready. Make a list of everything you're going to need. Obviously, I'm going to help you out there, so make sure you've got your pen and paper because we're about to make a list. So the things that you're going to need are your phone or a camera, a tripod, lighting, editing software, and audio equipment. Now, you don't have to have all of these things for every type of platform. So I've listed out everything there for you, but ultimately it does depend on what platform you're on. So for example, if you are going to be focusing on Instagram, then realistically you can use your phone for creating video there. You don't need to use a professional camera for that because most of the videos are vertical anyway, and I'd say majority of the people on Instagram create their content with their phone. You may not even need lighting for that or audio. I think that you can just use your phone and a tripod for that. So that's the most I think you'll need for Instagram and TikTok. But if you're creating content for YouTube, I would say that whole list is very important. I would say if you can, invest in a professional camera to be able to start, because then you do have that amazing quality visually. And audio, I would say, is also very important. If your audio is off, no one's going to want to stick around and watch the rest of your video if it's very fuzzy or it's just not clear. And then you also need to look at space, because obviously you really want to figure out where you're going to be filming. Do you have the space at home? Do you want to rent a studio or something like that, or create your own little studio at home? Think about that too, because you need to figure out what fits in well with the content type that you're looking to create. So if you're on Instagram and you're looking to create aesthetically pleasing home videos of you, I don't know, like working or lighting a candle, just a vlog style kind of thing, then you really want to make sure that do you have everything at home that actually fits that whole aesthetic vibe. There's no point picking something like that and thinking that's the theme I want when you don't have the things to be able to make it look like that. You know, everyone's home is different. Not all of us design it in a way which fits in with what you're trying to create for Instagram or these short form videos. So you really need to think about whether it is doable. Is it achievable? Are you thinking of something but you don't have the stuff to be able to create that? So think about whether you have the right kind of furniture and everything for you to be able to create that kind of video. And it may be that you just need one corner of your whole home to be able to create videos in, and you can change the background every so often. That's also another way to do it, so that you don't have to rely so much on everything that you have in your home, and you just stick to one area and change certain ornaments in the background every so often. So you've changed it up, but you know that that's the main working area that you use when it comes to your videos. Just start. This is probably one of the steps that I feel like a lot of people don't actually make, because they do all the research, they get everything ready, and then when it comes to starting, they actually feel like they're just not ready, you know. And sometimes you do just need to start. Now, I'm not saying just start and don't have an idea on what you're going to be filming. It is really important to understand what it is you're going to be filming, what is your niche, if any, where are you going to be filming. These are all things that you need to plan beforehand. But ultimately, when you have all that information, don't start kind of going down a rabbit hole where you start kind of like thinking about it too much, and then you're too scared to start because you feel like you just haven't got everything perfect. Once you have all of that information, everything that we've already spoke about, then you really need to like focus on just getting started. And the first few videos are not going to be great, and that's fine. You know, it doesn't matter if they're not perfect. It doesn't matter if they're not what you are envisioning, because eventually you'll get there, but you're only going to get there with experience. So you need to start creating that experience now, so you can get to the point where you can actually correct things along the way and you get to that perfect video that is perfect for you anyway. At the end of the day, the more you create, the better you're going to understand your voice, your style, and what resonates with your audience. So it's something that you have to just get started with. I just keep saying get started, but you genuinely need to get started, because that is what is going to help you to figure out where you are going to be and what you should be creating. Embrace imperfection. Nobody's perfect, and that's okay. If you're striving for perfection, you're never going to get there. There is always going to be something that you feel that you haven't got right. So don't think about trying to make everything so perfect, and just think about creating good content, because ultimately, if there are a few bits that go wrong here and there, or maybe you don't come off as professional as you want, again, going back to my previous point, that experience is necessary for you to get better and better. But at the same time, people do like seeing raw footage. They do like seeing where you've maybe slipped up, or maybe it's a bit of a blooper, you know, because it feels real to them. They feel that they can connect with you and it's just real life. Let your authenticity come through, you know, let the real you come through. It's really difficult to begin with because when you first start filming, and especially if you are in front of the camera, you can almost come off quite stiff, you know, and very kind of like you're not moving. I remember I was like that on my first videos. I was very kind of like this, and by the end of it my back was killing me, because who sits like that really? You really do need to just relax. It will take a little bit of time because you know, it takes you having to get used to being in front of the camera too. But don't be too critical of your videos, because the first few videos are not going to be great. The first 50 videos may not be great, but I can promise you one thing, that you are going to get more and more comfortable and you are going to get better and better at it. Honestly, the proof is in every single YouTuber out there. Go back, if they still have them up, and watch all of their old YouTube videos, and trust me, you will see that they have all got better and better and better over time, you know. So don't look at every YouTuber now and think, wow, that is amazing. They have got better over time and they stuck with it, and that's something that you need to do too. Build your tribe. Connect with other creators, connect with your audience, figure out what it is that people are excited about watching these days, you know, and there's always something that is changing and evolving within whatever your niche is or whatever the topics are that you've decided to create videos on. Engage with your community, like foster your community, respond to your comments, you know, figure out what it is that they want to see, have a conversation with them. And this can be very hard later on when your channel has grown so much. Like on my other channel, which is beauty, it is really difficult to like have a conversation with every single comment because there are hundreds and hundreds of comments coming through on a daily basis. So it's impossible for me to be able to sit and respond to every single comment on a daily basis. At the beginning, I would say that that's the one thing I'm so glad that I did do, that I was really kind of having conversations with people. And I remember these people. I remember the people that have been there from day one. You will always remember your day ones. Take the time to really engage with them, because it will really make you feel so, honestly, you feel so blessed and so happy that these people were there from day one. And then, you know, slowly over time, they start responding to comments that come up later on. It's so nice to see, because when my other channel grew so much, like this is a very new channel for me still, but the other channel has been around for a couple of years now. And when it grew to the point where I could not respond to every comment, I remember seeing, and even now to this day, some of the people who have been subscribers of mine on that channel from day one, they start responding to other comments, answering their comments. And it is the nicest feeling, because they clearly love your channel and they like you, you know, and you've spent the time to talk to them. So anytime someone has a question, and maybe sometimes like, oh, you know, you get someone leave a comment who is new, who is like, oh, you haven't responded to my comment, there'll always be someone who jumps in and responds for me and says, you know what, actually she does a lot, she has another channel as well. And it's just so heartwarming. Be consistent. Again, something you've probably heard millions of times, but it is so important to be consistent. Being a successful content creator takes time, and that time should be well spent in order to make sure that all of your videos and your content is of good content that people learn from, you know. Set a realistic schedule. So you don't want to just create content and release it and then that's it. It's got to be content, like I said, that people are going to find like they're learning something from that. So make sure that, as well as the consistency, like say you're creating, I don't know, like 3 videos every week. Yes, you want to make sure that you are consistent with that, but you also want to make sure that the videos are good. The information that you're putting out is actually good. You know, people are learning something from it and you're proud of that content that you've put out. It doesn't feel rushed. It doesn't feel like, oh, I've just done a video just to put it out. The more consistent you are, the more likely you are to build a following that is loyal and that's going to stick around. Analyze and adapt. Track your progress and learn from your mistakes. Adapt to what works and what doesn't, because this will happen throughout your whole journey. Like you will figure out what works for you and what didn't work for you. And the whole point of it is for you to learn from it too, and to better your channel, better your content creation. Don't look at something and think, you know what, that was such a waste of time. I wish I didn't do it. Because if you didn't do it, you wouldn't have known that it is a waste of time. So you really need to start looking at things like a way of teaching you to better your content creation and help you to figure out what you should and shouldn't try in the future. Use your analytics on your platform to figure out what it is that resonates with people. Like what kind of stuff do they like? What videos did well? What videos didn't do well? So you need to adapt to the demands of your audience, right? And the great thing about the analytics, especially on YouTube, is that it really does tell you so much information. Use the research tab to figure out what it is that people are looking at. What are your audience actually watching? What are they watching from other YouTubers out there, because that's kind of stuff that they obviously want to see. Utilize the tools that that platform has created for you to learn more about your channel, learn more, deep dive into it so you can really figure out what it is that's doing well on your channel. Why is it doing well? How was that video different from another video that was similar to it? So if there are 2 videos that you've done which are about a similar topic and one did really well, why did it do so well? What is so different about that video that made it stand out? Was it just the thumbnail, or was it that you were different in that video, that you were a bit more upbeat, you're a bit more lively, or maybe the information that you provided was a bit more detailed, or maybe the way you edited it was different? You've got to figure out these things so that it can really help you to create content that resonates with people better in the future. And don't forget to not take everything so seriously. As much as we love what we do and content creation is so fun, it can end up being quite a serious thing too, because you're so kind of consumed by what it is that you're trying to create and making sure you're consistent, making sure that it looks great, making sure you're releasing it on the right date, that you can forget to enjoy it. And the thing is, when you're having fun, your audience can see that you're having fun and they like it better. I hope this has helped you to figure out what it is that you want to do and given you some direction on how to go about being a content creator. It's honestly so fun. There's a lot of things that you need to take into consideration, especially if you're going to be taking it seriously, but I really do hope that this video has helped you. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. And if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.